Hello and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. There's all kinds of family. We chose this one. This is episode 270, Fast and Furious 6, Lap 12. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe 2, and this episode's brought to you by Ranaway Diesel and Auto. Ranaway Diesel and Auto is a family-owned business, and their ownership and ASEC certified technicians bring over 30 years of experience together diagnosing and repairing light-duty diesel and gas vehicles. Shout out to Ranaway Diesel.
Ranaway Diesel Performance and Auto, is that in Duval, Washington?
It is, yes, that's true.
Well, shout out to them, and welcome to Too Fast, Too Forever. With us tonight to continue the Fast and Furious journey, the first complete journey for her in her illustrious life. We have Jessica Collins, a.k.a. Montez. Welcome to the show, Montez.
Hello, thank you.
Gonna waste no time. The people want it. Montez Minute. Give us 1, 2, 4, and 5. Hit us with those sweet, sweet plot summaries. Please go.
You know, before I start this Montez Minute...
Montez.
No, I meant to write it down because I was like, this is going to happen. It's right from the jump, and I didn't do it, so here we go.
Okay. First movie.
All right. First movie is about a whirlwind love triangle between Brian, Dom, and Mia. Actually, it's more like a square because you got to include Letty.
But not Vince. Interesting.
Vince can't read, so he can't be in on this. It'd be more like a house.
So he can't read. He also doesn't do shapes.
Yeah, he doesn't do shapes either. So
okay.
He didn't like sandwiches. All right. So that's the first one.
Okay.
Everybody's heart was broken by the end.
So description of the first movie, nothing about cars. Okay, cool. Got it. Keep going.
Yeah. So, okay. 1, you said 3. Wait.
2.
3. 2.
2.
2 is about snacks and terrible bad guys.
Okay.
All right.
3. Nope,
4.
We didn't do 3 yet. 4.
Okay. 4 is about Dom getting his superpowers. I'm running out of minute here.
The Montez Minute is metaphorical. It's not really actually a minute.
I'm missing the cars here. Okay, the first one, they're boosting DVD players. The second one, I don't actually remember what they're doing. They're stealing cars?
They're stealing cigars.
Okay, and then the fourth one is the Italian Job?
Nope.
Shit. That's the fifth one.
Yep.
Jesus Christ. I need to write this down.
Do you remember anything about the fourth one?
What is the fourth one? The fourth one's the one I don't like.
Yeah, tell us one thing about the fourth movie.
Fuck.
We just talked about it.
Like 6 weeks ago.
Jesus Christ.
One of the characters from 4 comes back in this movie. 2 of the characters from 4 come back in this movie.
Oh, what's his name? Bilkins?
No.
Bilkins
God damn it.
4.
And he's not in this movie either.
Shit. I got nothing. I got nothing.
4 is where Letty dies.
Shit. Yes, and then she comes back.
Brian's a Fed. Well, she doesn't come back in 4.
No.
But Brian is a Fed. And there's Stasiak who comes back in this, and there's Braga who comes back in this. So, Montez, what this means is you got to watch all these movies again.
I think we should just restart now.
All right.
Let's take a break. Let's start. We'll go back. We'll watch the first one.
We're going to restart the lap.
Yeah, you're going to do this till you get it right. Okay?
Yeah, it's not lap 13. It's lap 12, part 2.
Oh,
2 lap 212. All right, Montez, what is Fast 5 about?
Wait. That's what we just watched, right?
No. We just
No?
watched 6. We watched 5 3 weeks ago.
I literally have my notes as 5, and that is not what I watched today.
Montez.
Listen, I'm a little flustered, okay?
I couldn't tell.
These technical difficulties, I'm all off my game.
Joe, how would you describe Fast 5 to Montez?
The Italian Job 2. She said it earlier. She just picked the wrong one.
I know,
picked the
but
wrong
she also
movie.
just didn't come up with that again when I asked her point blank. So.
I know. Which is the best part about it.
Yes, Italian Job. They're pulling safes through the streets of
There you
Brazil.
go. Okay.
We finally made it to Brazil.
Congratulations.
And the family. Thank you.
So here we are for Fast and Furious 6. The fifth movie we're covering this lap, but apparently only the second one that Montez has watched.
Yeah, true.
Unclear. But welcome to the show, Ms. Montez.
Yeah, thanks. I'm not even drinking right now, so this is sad.
I have a question to kick this off of something that I was thinking about watching this movie. If Dom had a pet, what kind of pet would it be?
Ooh, well, we know that Tony Toretto's aunt has a parrot or something, right? So that might be...
Yeah, she had birds. Yeah, she had. I thought bird, and I think you're right in the sense that there's a lot of options that went through my head that were like, this sounds right and this doesn't sound right, like, but bird was on there, and I think you're right. It's probably because of Spy Racers.
If Dom had an animal, though, he's definitely not a cat guy. I can see...
But I think there was cats in, like, Los Bandoleros or something, right?
Yeah, but
like,
those are just, like, Dominican cats.
I know, yeah, so I was like, no, definitely not cats, but then when I thought about it, I was like, oh, in Los Bandoleros, there's cats. Like, I could see him having, like, an outside cat, like a garage cat.
I think he'd be good with dogs, but I think a dog is too much work for a guy who's constantly on the move. Like, it wouldn't be fair to a dog if he
Be a
owned
beta
dog.
fish.
Beta fish.
Fish. I could see, like, like some, like, exotic he could definitely do what was like a Weebay in The Wire, right? Where he has, like, all these exotic fish in aquariums type situation. I could see that.
I was just thinking, what do we just talk about animals on? But it's the Patreon episode coming out this weekend with Montez, where we talked about frog children and turtle children. So, like, I don't think he's those either.
No, he's definitely not. He's definitely not like a turtle kid. But I could definitely see. Okay, two of my options. These are my two best options that I came up with. Actually, I want to hear Montez's answer first. Montez, can you tell me your answer first?
A fish.
Just a fish.
What if he was a horse girl?
Ooh.
Is
Is he a brony?
With like, oh god, that actually does track because he's like so into nerd things that I could see him being like, yes, I do love My Little Pony. Okay, my two ultimate answers were, I can see him having like a really big snake. That feels like a Dom thing to have.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, feed it mice, and like, this is my big snake, and you're like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, you just like go over to his house, and he just had like this giant aquarium in the side, and it's just a giant snake. You're like, okay. And it seems like something Letty would be into too. And then my other option was like tarantula.
So you see him as like a cold-blooded reptile insect. What's the classification for a tarantula? Just like arachnid?
Yeah.
Like as Buzz in Home Alone.
No, like I think that it definitely has the Weebay Wire energy though. Like he's like, these are my babies, and like takes care of them really, really well, and like has people come over to feed them while he's not there and stuff like I could see him like running into Mia, here in England and being like, how's the tarantulas doing? And you're like, I don't know.
Brian's definitely a dog guy, though, right? Brian's got a dog.
Like specifically like golden retriever, right? I think that feels right. So.
Yeah, he's got like an active dog that like is good at fetching and good at like hunting and chasing and just like he's got like a dog that looks good in pictures kind of dog, right? Like he's like the photogenic.
He's golden blondie. Yeah, the dog is golden blonde. Like I don't even see like German Shepherd, like police dog, even though that would kind of fit. I think more like
No, that's
a lab.
Channing in Dog. Oh, you haven't seen Dog yet.
Yeah, like I think like a lab or like
fair
golden
enough.
retriever, something like that.
Yeah, it's a good question though. I like that.
Yeah,
was that inspired by? Was that because of this movie, or is that just? What made you think of that?
I was just watching this movie, and that's what I thought of.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, like from the beginning, I was just thinking that, and yeah, it had nothing to do with anything else, but that was it.
Cool. Well, Montez, Fast and Furious 6. Now, you have seen this movie before, right? You said the only ones you have not seen are 8 and Hobbs, or Hobbs and 9. Which ones have you not seen?
8 and 9.
8 and 9. You've seen Hobbs. Okay, so you've seen
Yeah.
this
Okay,
one.
yeah, that's right.
So what's your take on this one? What do you think of this? Did you like it more or less than past viewings? Hit us with your initial thoughts on Fast and Furious 6.
Okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you.
Go ahead.
I loved it.
Good.
Really? Okay.
It was so much fun.
Honestly, I have no idea how to gauge your interest on any
Yeah.
of these movies,
I
any of
know,
these
right?
episodes.
Honestly, it just depends on like the day, my
It's like
mood.
you have a dartboard, you're just throwing a dart, you're like, ooh, I love this one. Okay, cool.
That is that explains me perfectly.
Okay, cool.
Vibes. All vibes.
So I love the big. Okay, so I'm gonna go through. Let me go through my notes here.
Okay, now go
As
slow.
we as
Go
we all
slow.
know, it's
Go
not a lot of
slow.
notes.
I know.
I guessed.
Okay, the opening reminded me of like a previously on the opening. I was like, oh, this is like a Montez Minute, except there are no words. And
Are you
it's
talking
just,
about the opening montage, the credits?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Mhm.
And it's like it felt like very soap opera-y. Like, where is everybody? And like, what are they doing now? And where have they been? Let's catch up. And then so that was great.
Did you
I,
like you like that? Okay, good.
I did, because I'm like, okay, we have entered this is what we're going with here. Like, we're just gonna embrace it. We're embracing the soap opera-ness. I loved when we got the band back together. Loved that scene at the very beginning.
Yeah.
It was very exciting. I was like, okay, we're getting the band back together.
Would you fly on the It's Roman Bitches air?
Fuck no.
Okay. Okay.
Even if it was free food, wouldn't do it.
Free. You got coupons to the buffet, Montez.
I mean, he
You don't
obviously
even
has
want this.
coupons to the buffet. The man's hungry.
That's true. Very true.
I did love when he acknowledged that things were getting a little too 0070.
Okay.
And airplanes and shit. So I did appreciate the fact that the movie was very meta in the sense that it acknowledged that it is going off the rails.
Well,
Sure.
wait till you see 9.
Yep.
Oh, I can't wait.
It really I do think that you're right. This really might be the first one that takes a turn where it becomes tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
Right,
five
Joey?
is the best one, but 6 is like it's still gonna be great, but it's gonna be not realistic in the slightest.
And it knows that it can laugh at itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Montez, have you explained why didn't you see 8 or 9? Like, you'd seen 7 movies by the time 8 comes out. You went to see Hobbs and Shaw. Like, what kept you, also like an avid movie watcher, from continuing or completing a franchise that you were already like knees deep in?
All right, here's the thing. No knees, Denise. I wasn't knee deep.
You have no
Michael-
knees. Are
You have
you
no
no
knees.
knees, Denise? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying I can't confirm or deny.
Interesting.
Wow.
Okay.
Michael made me watch these movies.
Okay.
Okay.
So I had seen through 5 on my own. And
Oh.
then he and I rewatched 5. Then we watched 6 and 7, which he has
Okay.
told me we're not ever going to watch 7 together again.
Because he cries.
Can't see a grown man cry.
Gotcha. Okay.
You heard it here
Okay.
first, people.
Rachel's actually gone one step further. When she hears "see you again" in a grocery store, she gets
It's-
weepy.
It's not fair. You can't play that in the wild. It's not fair.
It's not fair.
That is the good old boy song here in the South. For any
See
time
you again?
anyone who drives a truck dies.
Really?
I
Like,
hate that.
you
Like,
mean-
to the point where I can't stand that song.
Wait, so you mean like for vocation truck drivers, or just like anybody that might have had a truck that died?
Any old redneck boy dies and he drives a truck. That's the song that they play.
It feels like that's a wild choice. Like, I know it's like
Yeah.
it's honoring
Yeah.
a guy who was like known for cars and died in a car, but like
Yeah.
it feels like it would be any kind of like Brooks and Dunn song or like any kind of
Yeah,
country song
yeah.
and not
It is bizarre.
wild.
It's so
And
weird.
do they play it like in a funeral procession, or like where were you
They'll
hearing
play it
this?
at the funeral, like the song choice where
boy.
everyone's just like sitting there and it's like, let's play this song. It's so bizarre.
I mean, I know that it is about
Somebody
losing
died.
someone and seeing someone again. Yeah, but just
Yeah.
man, it
But
feels like
all of-
people like the good old boys would hate black people.
You would think that. You would think that.
I wasn't ready for that ending there. Sentence took a turn that I should have seen coming, but I just missed the sign for that one. Wow, okay. That's so at a funeral parlor we get a little "See You Again." I hope that Joey plays "See You Again" at my funeral. I think that would be appropriate. Not so much like I always say the last thing I ever want is like as soon as I die, somebody again, Joey, just saying this out loud because you'll probably mildly be in charge of something. Just get my Facebook shut down. Please don't let people like tag me in RIP posts or something like that. Like that's the most annoying
So
thing
step
in the
one,
world.
turn your page into memorial page.
Immediate, but yeah,
Check.
but like also turn tags off. Like you can't tag me. You can't comment on my wall. You like I've already told Rachel and my sister this, so like just adding you to the
We'll
list.
just face swap you onto Brian from the end of 7, and then we'll put you on, and that's like letting people know.
Yeah, do that, and then just like, but like you can leave the page up, but just make sure nobody can tag me or comment in anything about me.
There's been like new reports or I think like updates that like Instagram is going to or thinking about adding like a profile song like MySpace used to have, and like if Instagram
God.
does it, like I think like Facebook could be next, and so like we'll just do "See You Again." We'll face swap you onto Brian. We'll
That's
do "See You Again."
amazing.
And they're like, oh, I guess he died.
Yeah, don't tell anyone, but just do that. That will be really good. I like that. If you gave me the like "See You Again" playing in the background, excellent. Okay, good. Glad we worked out my will today. Appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
Hey, Montez, I have a question for you that I think I need to explain. I already explained partly, but I think that like the fact that you don't remember earlier movies sort of makes this a difficult question.
Okay, in my defense, we had some technical difficulties over here. I was a little off my game.
Yeah,
I'll remember next time.
Okay.
I doubt it, but we'll try.
But the question I'm asking is specifically about this movie, so next time does not help us. What do you think of the interconnectedness of these movies? That Braga comes back, that Stasiak comes back, that they are no longer just like returning characters to the world we know, but they are saying this old villain actually ties into a newer villain. These movies are directly connected in a way that don't actually, like, that we didn't address until a later movie. Like, what do you think of mythos building and world building in that way, the same way that like MCU movies do and that many franchises do, but this is sort of new in this movie to the Fast and Furious? What do you think of that and how it handles that, and do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
It is like I've been walking around with my shoes untied, and I finally got to tie them.
Okay, what does that mean though?
Great metaphor. Please explain.
Yeah, no, I like the metaphor, but I don't know how. Like, and I get the context, but like, how does that fit here?
The circle, it's closing the loop. Loops on a shoelace. You wear Velcro shoes? Are you a Velcro shoe person?
I was as a kid, yeah. I definitely liked the Velcro shoes. I didn't like tying shoes. I still don't.
No, I don't tie shoes. I slip sneakers on and off.
Slip on. I take them out of the box with them tied, and they just stay tied like that until I get a new pair, essentially.
All right, let me try a different metaphor. It's like a snake eating its tail. It's a circle.
Yeah, I don't think that's as good a metaphor, though.
I like the shoe one better. I think you should stick with the shoe one.
All right. Sorry to everyone.
But you do
that
like
I had
it.
to
You like them connecting things.
I do. I love that. I love conspiracy theories. So like I love things.
Oh, do you?
I love dots that connect. So
what's your favorite conspiracy theory go?
Oh, Montez has been on Hard to Believe every time there's a conspiracy episode because John knows that she'll just listen to him talk about whatever. So
Yep.
No, but like, what's your favorite? Give me one of your favorite conspiracy theories, please.
I have my own personal conspiracy theory.
Hit me with it. This is what I want to hear.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Okay. So, I think that the Roanoke colony,
Yes.
when everyone thinks they just like disappeared,
Yes.
I feel like the time frame kind of fits where they literally could have just migrated north and they became the Salem witches.
But didn't tell anyone because they were kind of like in witness protection or something.
you told this story. You told this idea on Hard to Believe, didn't you?
I did.
I was like, I've heard this insanity before.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be it would make more sense the other way around. Like the witches disappeared to become Roanoke, not Roanoke disappears and then goes to get murdered for being witches.
I don't make the rules.
Okay.
No, but this is your conspiracy theory. You do make the rules.
Yeah. Also true. You know what? It's just like shoot. They're untied and then they're tied. That's
Montez,
what happens.
Montez writes a book and Joe's like, "Cool, can you explain the ending?" She's like, "Hey man, I'm not a writer." It's like, "Okay, you are. You just wrote the book."
Did I? I don't know if I blacked out.
Montez, what's your most Dom moment?
Quadrant 4.
The beginning of this podcast.
That's the most Dom moment. Okay.
My most Dom moment is not admitting that I have flaws.
Interesting. What's the most Dom moment in this movie, though?
Yeah, that's what. You took a personal
Okay.
dumb moment. I'm glad we had that. That was.
I put that my most Dom moment was when Hobbs and Tej ask for the guy's shirt and pants. They want a less functional shirt for Hobbs to wear.
Because Dom would want a less functional shirt, or because Dom would clown somebody publicly for
I feel like he would publicly clown somebody.
Montez, before Joe and I do our most Dom moment, do you remember who gets the fuck in this movie? Did you write that down?
I missed it.
Oh,
I missed who got it.
Joe, do you remember?
I was so mad.
No, because I start blending them all together. I would guess The Rock, but I think he gets 4. He gets like the 1 in 4.
He's not in 4. Who are you?
I'm
Montez?
sorry, 5. In 5, yeah, sorry, 5. Sorry, 5. Last one. She threw me all. Like my brain is trying to piece together what's happening. So sorry. Now I'm in the upside down too. Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah. No, I don't remember who gets the fuck in this one.
Roman does. He goes, when they're talking about your voice just went from Shaggy to Scooby-Doo, he says, "See, man, when a woman starts shooting at you, that's a clear sign to back the fuck off. We got to get the hell out of Dodge."
Yes. It's interesting that Roman gets one. Feels kind of wasted because he's like the comedy guy.
Well, in the Fablemans, so that's a PG-13 movie, but there's 2 of them in there. And I think you can appeal for special. Like The Martian has 2, and I think even like maybe 2.5 possibly. Like I think maybe you see it once, but you can like ask for special dispensation to like have more than one. But there's one like in the middle of the Fablemans, and there's one at the end. So 2 in that movie. Strange but true. Joe, what's your most Dom moment?
I think okay, so I had 2. I had a more general one, and it's just like the idea that Dom would just spend a whole movie trying to get Letty back. That's just like, it makes so much sense. But specifically, something that we see here that isn't something that Dom does, but because of later evidence, I think is something Dom would do, Brian driving a minivan to go pick up his son.
Isn't that in 7? That's not in this one.
It doesn't start like that?
No, that's in 7. This movie starts with them racing to the birth of his child. Have you seen this movie?
Yes, I have seen this movie. But I really thought that happened when I was watching it today.
Brian is driving the minivan in 7.
Okay, then never mind. Let me pick up another Dom moment.
I feel like I'm going crazy here.
I feel like I'm going crazy here. I think that the most Dom moment in this movie is him gently trying to remind Letty exactly how she did things, but doing it in a very creepy way by describing her scars to her.
Yes, knowing everything about her.
Like, knowing everything about her makes sense, but alluding to it in a way that's like not just being like, hey, we know each other, and like you might not remember here, but being like, you were with my sister and like all this stuff. I feel like that's way more Dom feeling.
Yeah, that's fair.
How about you? What's your favorite Dom? What's your most Dom moment?
I have a bunch of Letty moments that I will exempt, but I'll run through very quickly.
Please.
Needing to be sure that she was, that she's back, and when they talking to Brian in the beginning. playing nice with her when he sees her and she doesn't remember him and like, wants to kill him or whatever,
Oh, I had
knowing
another one
everything
too.
about her, catching her in midair on the bridge, obviously. Like all of those things are very Dom moments. They're all tied in with Letty though, and I will let that be your thing. So what was your other one? Did you have another? What'd you just think
No,
of?
I was debating on this one because I didn't know if it's really like if it feels like a Dom moment or not. But him like surgically removing the bullet that Letty shoots him with himself because Mia's not there feels very Dom. But also it's like I feel like Mia should do that. So it's something that makes me instantly think of Dom in this movie. But I don't know if it's a very Dom moment. Do you have like a feeling either way about that? Do you get what I'm trying to say too?
Kind of.
Like it's something that's distinctly something he would do, but I don't know if that makes it a Dom moment in quotation marks. So it's an association I have, but not something that I think exemplifies his character traits.
So it's like the most Tourette. That's the most Toretto moment, maybe,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
or the most family moment. Yes. Okay, I get what you mean. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like I can't put like a texture on like whether or not I think that's the most Dom moment, but if you were like, what's like a very memorable Dom moment in this movie, that's
Sure.
something that's very memorable to me. So I'm like,
Yeah, no, I
that's
get
what I'm
that. I
okay.
think I think the big Letty moment, that's not a Letty moment, but the big Letty moment in your sense is just catching her in midair on the bridge. Some things you just got to take on faith. I think that's one. I think early on, intimidating Brian into being a good father because, like, I'll kick your ass if you ain't. Like, that's a very Dom moment,
Yeah,
I
because that's
think.
very familial. I agree. Yeah, it's kind of playful, kind of familial, kind of protective. It's fatherly. I get it. Yeah.
I think the most this is my kind of runner up. I think it's also more just a Fast and Furious moment, an action movie moment than a Dom moment, but him driving out of the flaming wrecking plane and then walking out of the flames again, like that's like he can't be killed, like that's a very Dom moment. But what I will say, my final answer
Okay.
is when Hobbs says to him, "Name your price, Dom," and he just goes 1327. It's like, oh yeah, okay. Like the thing that matters most. He could have anything he wants in the world, and all he wants back is his childhood home. Like that is
But I don't
Dom.
think that. I think that to continue on that, I think that you're right. I don't think that he even wants his childhood home. He just wants all of them to be together
Yes,
at
yeah.
this house. So the symbolism is even
Well,
greater
because
than
he
that.
has the house, right? He just wants to be able
Yeah.
to go home. He wants to return to the old life and like a simpler time surrounded by family in a place he loves.
Yeah. Which I mean, well then stop trying to save the world every 2 years.
You would think. So here's a question for Montez specifically, because I think we've talked about this before.
Okay.
It's kind of a least Dom moment, maybe, but Montez, what do you think of Dom moving on so quickly from Letty to Elena? Elsa Pataki, beautiful, married to Thor in real life. They have this shared history of loss and grief, and they bonded, and they're both beautiful people. But he just like Letty just died a couple years ago. I mean, maybe a long time. Who knows? Time is weird in these movies. But he is like deeply in love with Elena, and then sees Letty back. Like, I got to go see if my girl's back. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think of the whole this? You talk about the first movie a lot as a love triangle. What do you think of this love triangle that Dom has made? And then also, what do you think of him at the end telling Elena, "Hey, you don't have to leave. You can stick around too." Like, what do you make of all this like harem that he is building?
All right, so first of all, I'm going to get to this other thoughts note that I have here. Her ponytail gives me a headache.
It's a
It's
very
just
tight
too
pony.
tight.
It's a tight pony.
It hurts me just to look at it.
Ah.
I don't know that he moved on so quickly after. I think it's the fact that they both share something that would be hard for them to find in other people, that they
Okay.
have that shared grief. So it's a sense of deep loss that they both share and understand, to the point where they're like, okay, we can help each other feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And then probably eventually, obviously they fall in love with each other, and they understand that, at the time they think, Letty's dead. So he's moved on with her. And then when he finds out that she potentially is still alive, when Elena tells him, if I thought that my husband was going to be alive, I'd go and find him, and kind of just understanding that that's his one true love and that he's got to go see, and letting him go like that. I think that's what makes this less of a triangle. And you can see that at the end of the movie when Letty is standing there talking to her, and there's like no I feel like sometimes you see Letty around other females, especially like in the first movie with Dom,
Hmm.
and she's very jealous. I
Hmm.
don't feel that between the two of them at all.
Do you think that this Elena behavior is hashtag relationship goals, or do you think it's just a dude writing a woman character like, yeah, man, if my love was black, I'd want her to let me go too. Like, is it
Yeah.
realistic? Which one
Nah.
do you think it is?
Fuck no. It ain't realistic.
You
There's
Okay.
don't
no
think so?
I don't think there is any way. I mean, like, okay, let me back up. She's probably hurt, but I think she's being the bigger person of just not showing that hurt.
That's
And
fair. It's very fair.
she also loves him, so she's letting him go and find what is going to ultimately make him the most happy. So, I mean, okay, I take it back. Yeah, this is probably a little realistic.
That's what I
Okay.
was thinking. That's because I was thinking like I've never been in this situation, but if you come together later and both of you had had a previous partner that you like really loved, like you would know this, right? And you'd probably talk about it, and you're right, the shared grief, everything like that. If you had a chance to like somehow get back with them, like I'd have to be like, okay, that's fair. I was number two anyway. Like I knew I was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so I would be like, what am I gonna do? Be mad at him because like somehow his ex-wife is still alive, even though he thought she died brutally and like was murdered at the hands of some cartel. Like I would be like, yeah, man. Like you gotta. We knew this going in. You know, it's different than him like finding someone new that is
Yeah.
better. So like I don't think he's really even like scorning Elena. Like
No.
she's just like yeah, you were there. This was great and for us, but like if I had the option, that's why she says it. Like if I had the option like and I could get my husband back, like trust me, I would still be with him. Like that's just how this works.
So what do you think of the end though, when Letty is back and Elena shows up and he's just like, "Hey, you could stick around too." Like not necessarily implying we could make this all work sexually, but just like, "Hey, I still kind of love you and I wish you were here too." Like what do you make of that?
What I make of it is that he, again, they both lost a very important part of their lives, and he got his back, and she doesn't have that, and he also has taken himself out of that equation. So she's ultimately just lost someone again. So
Ah.
inviting her to stay is kind of like saying, "Hey, I know that you and I made this little family unit together, the two of us. This is my larger family unit. I would like to invite you to come and be a part of this, even if it's not in a romantic sense."
So you're on board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that we've like talked through this, like I've always perceived it as being Dom being like, "Hey, you know, you don't have to go." But at this point, I think that Montez's reasoning is right, actually, and that it is more pure than what we sometimes make it out to be because of the words. Like, I think that he really is like, look, like you can have a support group here with us. Like, you don't have to leave just because like I found Letty again. Like, we're still a family here, and we welcome you, and you can like hang out and like be part of the team and stuff like that. And I think that's kind of cute, but I don't know how it would work in practice. There's a difference between being like, "Oh, you got her back, you're good," and then like you got her back and like I'm still right next to you. That would start to get weird to me.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have another because I had the moving on from Elena Letty to Elena so quickly was a least Dom moment maybe, and then the end was a mixed Dom moment. I didn't know which way to go because I do think that like not wanting to break up the family, whatever family that is
Yeah.
very Dom, but also like, hey man, like you just got Letty back, like let's focus on her. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Yeah, how does that work for Letty? Do you think like how do you think Letty would feel that Dom was like, Elena can stick around?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think. I mean, do they ever really I mean, they interact briefly at the end here, but like, do they really?
Not even no, not even later.
It's weird. And then Letty raises. Well, I won't say that, but there's
Yeah.
there's some heavy lifting that Letty's doing on behalf of Elena, right? So,
Yeah, there is. There definitely is.
Montez, what do you think of about Rita Ora in this movie? Do you know Rita Ora?
Yeah, I don't even know that I recognized her.
Rita Ora is the one who starts the race in London. This is London, baby.
Ready, steady, go.
Yeah, I didn't even recognize her.
Oh yeah, she's wonderful.
I was thinking about this specifically that we come from Craig Lieberman to now just having some pop star or like some celebrity be the one that starts the race. and I was thinking like, who can be the next one? One. So like, who would you like to see as the next race starter in 10? If you could pick one.
Oh, I don't know, but I have more things to talk about Rita. We'll come back to
Sorry.
Rita. No, that's
Good.
fine. We'll come back to Rita. What pop star do I want to see start 10?
Well, no, it doesn't need to be but like they usually use like some kind of like
I mean, the best race
musician.
starter in this entire franchise is exceedingly handsome guy. Like him in Tokyo Drift is so fucking cool, man.
Yes.
Who do I want to see start a race?
Because that's like a specific like you get like a musician that doesn't need to really act. They get to do the start of the race and then
I
that's
think
it.
to answer the question, I need to know where the race is because I feel like they pick someone that
Oh,
is known
true.
for the place. Like Rita, I think is Albanian, but she lives in London. She's a very high-profile UK
Yes, yeah.
girly.
So we see all the pictures for 10 being in like Italy, right? So just
Ooh,
use Italy as a
is there like a Ferrari descendant still alive?
yeah. I mean, yeah.
Lady Gaga?
That would be a really good
Although I feel like
choice.
they would waste her if they have her starting a race and not actually acting in these movies. Like, get Gaga in the franchise. What are we
Good
doing?
point
Come
because
on.
like yeah, because she's like an actual actress. Somebody that I could pick that would be like
Montez, who would you have for Italy? While Joe thinks, if we were starting a race in Italy, who would like get that going?
Lightning McQueen.
Ka-chow.
yeah, that would work. Um, hmm. I would. You know what I'd really like to see? Like now that you said that, and it's kind of something we maybe talked about a little bit before, but I would like to see one of the Ferrari F1 drivers start the race, but like not be announced. You know what I mean? It's like you'd recognize him, and he would just be like 3, 2, 1, go, whatever. But you would see it, and if you knew, you'd be like, oh my god, that's fucking Charles
Hamilton.
Leclerc.
Well, I think it's the
The,
same thing with like the fishermen in Tokyo Drift being like drifters,
yes,
right? It's just like if you know, you know. If you don't, it's just a guy.
yeah, and they're both of them are really handsome too. So
It'd
it
also be
would
funny
be.
to have Adam Driver as Enzo Ferrari start the race.
Oh god, yeah.
It's like, wait, when is this movie happening? Is that Adam Driver? Is that movie out? What's going on?
Yeah, what is Adam Driver doing here? And why is he just like, wow.
Why does he look like Enzo Ferrari? Kind of.
Yeah.
So back to Rita for a second. So number one, I don't know if I've ever said, but at the end of every episode of Who Weekly, every Tuesday episode, they do what's Rita Ora up to. Like they just talk about Rita
Oh,
news
I was gonna
every
ask.
every
Okay.
week.
Yeah.
This podcast was not around in 2013, so they would not have covered this. I'm sure they know about this. But the other question, I have a question about Rita though. She says something about don't bite the bait. Does that mean like leave too early? Like what does that mean? When she's like giving warnings, like this is London, baby, and like before she says ready, steady, go, she says don't bite the bait. I did not Google this. I can Google it, but do either of you know what that phrase means or what she's alluding to?
No, I did not. I just Googled it, but I felt like I knew for some reason that this is more of like an English idiom.
I think so, probably.
Like it's just English parlance to mean something. I don't know what it is, and like I had never heard it before that. But I feel like I learned somewhere that like because she does ready, steady, go, don't bite the bait. I think she's like laying into like the English of it.
Well, because someone says on italki.com, someone asks, what does that mean? And Sarah says, I think you're combining two English idioms. Don't bite the hand that feeds you and don't take the bait. And then someone else says, don't bite the bait or don't take the bait means to not accept an obvious lure just as a fisher tries to catch a fish. The bait in this case is perhaps an offhanded comment or gossip, which still doesn't make sense.
Don't bite the bait. Yeah, what would it mean in that context?
Don't bite the bait, Rita Ora.
But I don't understand. This is hey man, sometimes you
Screen
gotta
rant.
untie your shoes.
Ooh, hold on. Rita Ora's Fast and Furious cameo explained. This is one of those screen rant things where like the article is like 800 words, even though it could be like 50 words. Because they're like, we need you to scroll.
Yes, and it's like add.
It's apt since it basically sums up her entire role. She says that the race between Dom and Letty before counting them down. While the singer does a good job with the role, it's fairly insubstantial in the definition, a brief cameo. Rihanna was reportedly considered for the part before being replaced by Ora, though this was never confirmed.
Interesting.
Following the
Okay.
later entry in the series returning to London, Rita Ora hasn't yet to reappear. It doesn't explain why she is here. I fucking hate Screen Rant, man. God damn you. I have no idea.
It was just total just gibberish.
Oh, wait, hold on. On IamTheCoffeeChic.com. But remember, don't bite the bait. Wrong team, bitch. And then Anonymous says, what did the racer girl, Rita Ora, mean by saying, but remember, don't bite the bait before she started the race? People want to know, and nobody has answers.
I looked up "don't bite the bait" and it was exactly like you said, like just don't fall for it. But I don't know what that means in the context of like those two racing. Like,
I don't know
she
either.
wouldn't know anything about their history,
No.
and also their history wouldn't like. Is she implying that Dom's like trolling Letty into getting her memory erased back into her?
So is Rita Ora omniscient in this world?
She's a god.
She knows everything about everyone?
Now that you say that, Rita Ora would play a great oracle in The Matrix.
Oracle?
Ha ha ha.
You said it, man.
I did. Okay.
Do you think your friend Josh Buckley likes this movie because Hobbs talks about catching wolves?
Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably it. That's nailed it. That's exactly what it was.
Hey, Montez, in this movie, Owen talks about Deckard's love of codes, and he says, my code, precision. If you had a code, or maybe you do have a code, what's your code?
Oh.
Chaos.
Your code is chaos?
You're just Professor Chaos. You're just Butters running around in a costume.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we all have seen that from the start of this episode here.
You know, that the chaos was not recorded, so you could have just come in here like a normal human being. You keep alluding to a thing that no one's going to know what you talked about.
Exactly.
It wasn't that chaotic, to be honest.
No.
It was totally fine.
You
It
tried a
was
new
to-
laptop, it didn't work, you went to your old laptop. Like, that's the end of the story.
It feels more chaotic in my mind.
What word did you just use? What does he describe it as? His it's not a motto. What's the word that you just used? His credence?
Code.
His code. Huh. If I had a code, what would it be? Oh, just like kindness. I think kindness would be my code. That would be
Okay.
it. Yeah, it would be something. It wouldn't be precision or even like revenge or anything like that. I think mine would just be like, be nicer. Like, just leave people alone. Kindness.
That's fair.
Yeah. What about you? What's your code?
Positivity or kindness, I feel like that's kind of on brand for me. I don't know. I knew I was asking Montez this question. I didn't have an answer for myself, so
Look
I would
inward.
say positivity maybe, or code. My code is
Hard work.
dedication or motivation.
Yeah, dedication, I think, would be it. If I had to pick one for you, that's what I would pick. Something like that. Not that you're not, like, kind or nice or positive or whatever, but, like, I would see, like, that.
I'm more motivated than kind.
You're more dedicated, yes.
Okay.
You are.
And plus, Carly's got an album called Dedicated, so it's right there too.
Does
You
she?
know.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's cool.
Yep. Montez, what other notes you have?
Again, you talked about the fact that time is like a weird flat circle in this franchise.
Yes.
I don't know how long it's been since Brian had this baby, but that is a grown ass baby. Like that is
As someone that has one,
you
you would know.
That's a grown ass baby. That's all I thought was. This has been months now that he's been sitting here hanging out with his family, and then they just come and get him. It didn't feel like months, but that's a big ass baby. Let's see what else here.
How old do you think that baby is? Could you use that baby to gauge your time?
I feel like that baby's got to be at least 7 or 8 months.
So that actually feels like on brand. This could be 7 or 8 months. I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say like 4.
No,
Okay.
that baby's huge.
Okay. Okay. Just a really big 7-month-old baby.
Yeah, right.
Well, so what's the time span in which this movie takes place? Because Mia gives birth at the beginning before anything happens. Like, I think like this might span a couple of months. I mean, not 7 months, but like it could span a couple of months, and then maybe they fast forward a couple more months at the end. Like, I don't think it's necessarily crazy. It's jarring, but it
Yeah.
might actually work.
That's what I was thinking too. This was never something that like for all the time shit that does get fucked up in these movies, the like size of the baby going from the beginning to the end of this, I was like, that one okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I think for me it was jarring because like when he's sitting with Mia and the baby,
Okay.
and I'm like, oh, like this has been a while, but I feel like that's okay too that he got to take a break.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
Let's see, what else do I have here? This fucking runway.
World's longest.
World's longest runway. Forever.
You know, people have like done the math on it, and it's like if the plane is going at a certain speed, how long the runway has to
Was it
be
like-
for how long the scene is.
What is it, like how many miles is this runway?
I think it was like 26 or something. I think they figured out. It's long.
Yeah.
It's,
Right.
it's definitely not a standard issue runway here. But also, as Joey and I say, like all these movies, we're seeing each piece of the same scene, which could be happening simultaneously.
Yeah.
So, like, all the dialogue and stuff could be, like, they're all just yelling at the same time, but you're seeing, like, Brian say it, Roman say it, Letty say it, and it's all just happening at the same time.
That'd make more sense.
Yeah.
My last other thought is Vin Diesel has leveled up and he is now fireproof.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
So he now has a fireproof ability. My hate section, I literally just wrote, gross. Why would his first car be a Skyline, Brian?
Why? Why does it be gross?
At the end when he's talking to his son,
Yeah.
Jack, the baby.
Why is that gross?
Because
'cause
you wanted
he
him to have American muscle, or it doesn't fit the character or the movie?
Just the fact that I would prefer an American
Oh,
muscle.
we haven't been asking Montez the either ors. I've been forgetting this. Hold on. we
Oh,
got to go
no.
back. Because there was a question. There's American Muscle or
Yeah,
import.
you
We know
had-
the answer to that. We haven't really done this reliably in a long time because, like, it got too long and we haven't done this kind of lap. Okay, hold on. We just didn't do it for the last movie. Wait, yeah.
We
no.
did. We did
We
ones
just did it for
recently.
this one.
Yeah, we just didn't do it for this one.
Wow. Okay, so I'm not a total fuck up. Just
No,
today.
no, you're doing okay.
All right, Montez.
It was our chaotic energy leaching into you.
I'm
Don't.
sorry.
Yeah, don't take this part. You're okay, Joey. We're doing good.
We're going to get to the question I just brought up in the next one, in Tokyo Drift. But okay, the only question for today, Montez. Are you a racer or are you a designer? If we're pulling a job, are you out in the field doing the thing? Or like Ned in Spider-Man, are you the man in the chair?
I'm the man in the chair.
Okay.
Are you using the first computer you tried tonight or the second computer you tried tonight?
The first one because it's faster.
Okay. but we're gonna just talk.
or
into
am
the
I
microphone.
using the computer that's upstairs and not currently working?
Oh,
Michael, I'm talking to you now. Fix that shit.
Montez is almost with Michael Gallier tonight. By the way,
Almost.
speaking of, shout out to Cassie Wilson, Ben Milliman, Nick
Nice.
Burris, Alex Ellenan, Justin Kleinman, Brian Rodriguez of High School Slumber Party,
Ooh.
Haley Gerbies, Wes Hampton, Jerry Robinson, Dan the Duke, Hayden, Renato DiDonato, Michael McGann, Lane Middleton, Lindsay Lewandowski, Nate Milton of the Kings of Sport, Jason Rainey, Tom Price, Mike Gallier, and tonight's guest, Jessica Collins, aka Montez. Thank you all so much for supporting us at the $5 a month level or above.
That was perfect, dude. You just put
Thank
that
you.
perfectly in there. I really like that. That worked great.
Thank you so much. But thank you all. So thank you. Montez was almost with Michael tonight, with Mike, but chose not to, chose to sit at home and get frustrated at technology. But, you know,
Yep.
who knows?
Could have been getting frustrated with technology in another city.
Montez, any other notes, any other thoughts? Love, hate, questions? Still don't know what's going on with the market. Don't ask.
I wasn't even going to ask. My last note is that I absolutely love when Tej spits out his drink at the end.
That's real. That
Yes.
really happened.
That's
I know,
a real moment,
and I love
and it
it.
gets Rachel every time. Too.
I love
She's
it
with you.
so much.
It's so pure. I just
yeah.
like the look. Yeah, everything about it is incredible. I agree. I'm with you.
That's it. That's my last note.
Joe, do you have other notes?
When I was watching it this time, I think that it's weird, but I noticed Letty, before she gets into her car, she shuts the door on a spiker. So there's just like randomly a spiker in the car in this movie. Spiker's like a car maker that they were also selling at the Porsche dealership that I spend a lot of time at. And I don't think I've ever noticed the spiker before. And she shuts the door as if she's getting into it, but then just like shuts that guy's door after she It's like when Dom's watching her and she's like talking to this guy and he like hands her money and then he like walks away, she yells, and then he hands her more money. She like walks over and shuts the door of this car that's not her car for no reason. and it's like just a one-off car. So
Okay.
yeah, that was something I noticed that was weird this time.
Cool. Fair enough. Other thoughts, other notes?
No, everything else I brought together,
Cool.
Dom's pets, everything. Yeah, we're good.
The most important question of the night, the Dom's
Yeah.
pets. What would he do? All right, it's time to play this Ain't No 10-second race,
Ooh.
a.k.a. Boy Do We Have a Podcast for You.
Boy, do we have a podcast for you. Come and check out our show. Yeah, yeah.
This is where I go on twitter.com, a.k.a. the Bird app, crumbling before our very eyes, and we try to find people who might be interested in listening to this fine, fine show. So, I'm going to review last episode's picks while you two find or send me tweets. Joe, I found Ritesh at Ritesh Writer. Fast 5 to Fast and Furious 6 is basically the raddest live-action superhero team movie to sequel Evolution, because it's effectively following the same principles of world building as doing a Justice League Begins, followed by a Justice League vs. Crime Syndicate. I was like, I don't know what this means, but I feel like someone knows. Spot on take, we said. We love it and agree. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. Nope. Nothing. I also found as a bonus the only Brian Dizyak, who was responding to M, who said, name a movie with an epic car chase scene. And he said, Ronin, To Live and Die in L.A., Fast 5, and my unproduced 40 years later sequel to Smokey and the Bandit. I took the car chase to a whole new level, literally. And we said we love all these movies, and I've talked about all of them. Boy, do we have a podcast for you, and I went over to, even for charity, I could not get it done. Oh. Joe, you found Caitlin at Just Listen KT5, who was going through her ships, her stands, all of that. And she found one, or she had a picture of Han and Giselle. We always talk about Tokyo, or as Giselle calls it, Tokyo.
Tokyo.
And we said, we ship them too. We hope they get a spin-off one day. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. And we got nothing. And then Montez finally cracked the glass on the emergency alarm. Every _993 at every 993, the Fast and the Furious 2001, after a good time racing, it's time to escape from the police. And he did a little car, like Hot Wheels car drive around thing. And we just said, boy, do we have a podcast for you. And every liked the tweet, responded to the tweet, and followed the tweet. Montez gets 11 points.
Jeez.
Big swing, Montez.
That's a come up. That's a huge come up. Jeez.
All right, Montez, you just sent the one for today. Please hit us with this tweet.
At Paco Kick the Taco, a fun way to avoid stupid internet discourse is to log off, get stoned, and make someone watch the Fast and the Furious movies for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally this
for us.
lap. This is our guy.
So Montez, what do you want to say to Paco Taco?
I have nothing witty to say. You guys help me out.
I would say something along the lines of like, come here, Paco. You're part of the family and you didn't even know it. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. Something like that. Like very like what like get over here, brother. Get in here. We know you belong.
All right, come here, Paco. You're part of our hashtag family. You didn't even know it. You belong. Boy, do we have a podcast for you.
Perfect.
Love it.
Let's see what happens. Joe, hit us with yours, please.
Mine is from IB at the Cicatrist, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
From almost a year ago.
Almost a year ago, but it's follow along here. It was an announcement of the Fast Saga saying the Fast fam keeps getting bigger. Welcome Jason Momoa, and it's a picture of Jason Momoa. He says, since they already done with planes, I think this time they're going with submarines, and Aquaman here wrecks them up, but by the climax they find out that he is Dom Toretto's pet fish's long-lost half-brother.
Oh, boy. Okay. I see it.
Wait,
what do you want to say to the one random person on Twitter who had the same dumb idea you had? How do you want to respond to the one person who also thought, maybe Dom's got a fish?
The exact right way. We were just talking about Dom Toretto's pet fish, And we agree. Boy, do we have a podcast for you. Come on, that brain doesn't belong here. That's exactly. This is Get Stone, make him watch Fast and Furious for the first time. What about Dom Toretto's Pet Fish? We found two people that should definitely be listening to us.
Now,
tonight.
I had this idea as soon as I heard this news, and I think Reaction Rocket might have tweeted at us too.
Okay.
But they have canceled plans for Wonder Woman 3. And
Okay.
so I found Yuletide Chris Vanderkay at CK Vanderkay. Someone let Vin Diesel know that Gal Gadot may be available for those Fast and Furious movies after all.
That's true, but they're already shooting this one, so like, we don't know what Gal is actually doing while shooting this one.
I'm saying all we want is a Han and Giselle 3-movie spin-off series. Boy, do we have a podcast for you.
Look, small ask, just
Small ask.
just like $300 million budget films.
No big deal.
Hey man,
Fast and Furious presents Love.
I like that. Just love. No, it would have to be like a less than, and then like have fast written, and then a 3, and then Vin would have to call it 16 different titles.
Do you know our boy Elon from Twitter.com, aka the Bird app, was trying to spell out the word sex in his car titles?
What?
Like the Model S and then the Model X, but they did not. There was another car company, I think, that already had the Model E, so he had to do the Model 3, but the way that they stylized the 3 is just like 3 lines. So like he's been spelling out in his Tesla cars sex.
What?
Second richest man on the
Why?
planet now. He fell behind the guy from Lockheed or from Philippine Hughes or some fashion brand. I don't remember, but yeah, cool guy, right?
No, it's just like,
Why?
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, why? I don't know, man. S3X.
S3X.
Got
Fuck
him.
him. Fuck him. All right. The final game. Dude, what's my car?
Dude, what? My car. What? Your car, dude.
So listeners, we are running low on pictures. We have this one. I think we have 2 more. It's not
You
a 2
want to get
more.
one in?
If you want to get one in.
Ah ha ha ha.
Because we have this lap. We have Tokyo Drift, 7, 8, Hobbs, 9. So we are going to be 3 short this lap. And since Montez writes with size 80 font, we need this game
I told
to
this.
hit
I
an
told
hour.
this. I told this joke to Rachel yesterday, or like 2 days ago, and she also really enjoyed it. She.
I have a ton of car pictures that I can share that I took that I had never sent in.
Oh.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, we had a car show here.
At your house?
No, and
That'd be
And-
kind
I
of cool.
know.
actually.
I know not at your house. Don't answer that like I was a serious question. No, not at my house.
I mean, hey, I could have Team Chaos over here. You know what? I could line up all of Kiernan's Hot Wheels. Yeah, we had a car show, and we went to a car show, and I took pictures specifically for you guys, and I don't think I ever sent them. So
Well,
I got you.
cool. All right. Today is from Lane Middleton. Subject line, car. This is from
Okay.
a year ago, October 1, 2021. I will say right now, P.S., there is exactly a 0.1% chance he gets this.
Fun. Okay, let's do
So
it.
Lane says, I'm new and still on lap 3, so I'm not sure if you're still doing car picks. Well, we weren't for a while, but now we're doing them again.
Yep.
These are picks of what the car I had when the first 3 movies came out. And I would have been
Ooh.
jacked up after watching each of them in the theater and drove home like a total asshole.
Is it a Ford Probe?
No, but you are... Ford is... It was made by Ford. It's not a Ford, but it is a Ford.
Okay.
This car is from 1999, I will tell you that.
Okay.
This car was only made for about 3 years and helped kill a name. Like what the car is called, it was like a sort of a later incarnation of a thing. And I guess this just either didn't do well or something, who knows. But it helped kill the name of the car and also eventually helped kill the brand altogether.
So it's not a Ford, but was made by Ford.
Correct. And it was their attempt at doing another type of car. So
Like
this
doing
is...
another type. I don't know what that means.
I'll explain it when we get there. But it's a
Okay.
white car.
Okay.
I don't know if this is on GTCarlot.com, and it's available for $4,988
Okay.
at Shaw Motors. Very appropriate.
Ah.
Montez, I feel like you have not given any clues because I feel like I've blown these up so quickly in the past. So please describe this car to Joe.
It's white.
Okay.
It has headlights.
Describe them. Give me like shape,
They
size.
kind of look like alien eyes or like bug eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe maybe like spider eyes, maybe.
Okay.
2 doors.
Is it long?
It is long-ish.
Montez said 2 doors. That's an important clue.
Okay.
The front end is kind of like snub nose. It's like short.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's like a take on the Thunderbird. I thought the
Nope.
Thunderbird.
Nope.
But you said it's not a Ford. It was just made by Ford.
Correct.
And like it kind of killed the Thunderbird name too.
Well, it didn't kill the Thunderbird name because it's not a Thunderbird.
No, I know that. I'm saying like the Thunderbird kind of killed the Thunderbird.
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
You know what I
gotcha.
mean? Like
mean.
all
Yes,
of these
yes,
clues
yes.
were pointing to Thunderbird in my head, but it didn't make sense. Is it? What other manufacturers did Ford make cars for, or who would steal a Ford car? Huh. It wouldn't be like Pontiac.
It's a big name. It's a make and a. I don't know if I know the model, but I know it's a make that I for sure knew.
Is it
It's a defunct division of the American automobile manufacturer Ford Motor Company, created in 1938, was eventually shuttered in 2010.
Is it Saturn?
Nope, but very, very, very close.
Mercury.
Mercury.
Okay. Is it a Sable?
No.
Okay. What did Mercury have that? Yeah, that
And
makes
just
sense.
Santa baby, slip a sable underneath a tree for me.
Yeah, I said Sable.
I know, that's what I'm just saying. That's. Hey, I said that because you said sable.
I know. Okay.
I feel like you two are in a totally different world tonight, and I am losing my goddamn mind.
But it's fun. It's
on a
this
different
is
planet,
harmless. Yeah, this is harmless. Okay. Fuck. A Mercury.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the model is.
It is
Cougar.
Cougar, 1999
Got there.
Mercury Cougar.
I got there right before you were about to spit it out. Good. Okay. Cool.
Siri found this on the web.
Nice.
I was going to say it's a cat.
Yeah, that would have been a good clue. The Mercury Cougar. That is right. Okay. And what Ford car? What Ford car was it?
Well, it was no. It was trying to be an Eclipse. It was Ford's take on the Eclipse.
Oh.
They were trying to ape Mitsubishi, and so they made the Cougar, the Mercury Cougar, and it just flopped.
Yeah, they had Cougars back in the day too that were actually pretty cool. Like Mercury Cougars were like a cool car, but then when they reissued them, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mercury's completely dead, huh? That sucks.
Yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
And also R.I.P. to this episode because we are done. Thank you, I guess, Montez, for the weird energy you brought tonight.
It was fun. Hey man, I had a good time. I liked it.
I agree. But
You're
Montez, would you like to plug anything? Do you want people to find you? People follow you?
What's the coolest toy you bought for your children for Christmas?
And can your kid tie his shoes yet or no?
Also a good question. I almost asked that earlier. Go ahead.
No,
Answer both, please.
My man can't even like use the bathroom on his own.
Oh, poor Bean. Okay, someday.
Someday, hopefully soon. I'm getting tired of cleaning up poop. Coolest toy that I bought them. Man, that's hard because I just like.
You just tell us some toys that you bought them. Any of them.
I bought him some magnetiles, so like the little magnetic like building blocks.
Oh, okay.
I think those are cool. I like to play with them. Some Hot Wheels, obviously.
Obviously.
A little tiny lift in a garage for his Hot Wheels.
Oh, that's like the coolest toy you got. That's
so,
pretty cool. Yeah.
Shout out to the Dollar Tree on that one.
Yeah,
for
that's
literally
really
$1.
fucking awesome.
Oh, and my 5-month-old is getting a Paddington Bear.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
So,
All
yep,
around.
Yep.
Good mom. even though you just want to play with their toys.
I literally just buy their toys so that I can play with them.
It's perfect.
Cool. Well, Montez, once again, thank you so much.
Yes.
And thank you, Lane, for emailing that in. Our next episode, so patrons have a bonus episode this weekend of Better Watch Out, which Montez is also on.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah.
check that out.
And fun movie. Go watch it before you
Better
listen to
Watch
the
Out.
episode. It's a great it's Christmas themed, although not themed in Christmas. It's themed in Christmas, not Christmas themed.
This is our Christmas week episode, so Merry Christmas to all who celebrate. Next week, we will be back with Riddick to conclude that trilogy, quadrilogy with Nico, and hopefully Keva will also be here, talking about Riddick from 2013. And then the patrons have another bonus episode, Alex Ellen's patron pick of Superfast, the Fast and Furious parody movie. And then after that, in the new year, we've got Life in the Fast Lane for Too Fast, Too Furious, Minute 80. So a lot of bonus content over at toofast2forever.com if you want to do that. Please and thank you. Be like Montez. Give us money and then don't listen to the show.
Hey, that's how it works.
But thank you all for listening. Thank you for supporting. And thank you once again to Miss Montez. And for all things Too Fast, Too Forever, go to cageclub.me, facebook.com/toofast2forever, or at toofast2forever on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Email us, family, at cageclub.me. Send in those car pictures if you want.
Yeah.
Send in any notes you want. We'll read it on the next Life in the Fastlane episode. Check out our Patreon page at toofast2forever.com and our store over on TeePublic. And like I said, come back next week for Riddick, which I hope is good. I'm Joey Lewandowski.
I'm Joe, too.
And that was Montez, and we'll tell you all about it
when we see you